At least 126 killed in Iran protests. Activists. In Iowa, Trump touts economy as protests roil neighboring Minnesota. U.S. judge threatens ICE chief with contempt, orders court appearance. Viral photo of police crying near BCL leader Saddam. AI-generated rumor scanner. The EU-India trade deal. What implications for Bangladesh? At least 126 people have been killed in Iran's crackdown on nationwide protests, according to activists, with many others reported missing or feared dead. The US-based human rights activists news agency said those killed include 777 protesters, 214 members of security forces, 86 children, and 49 other civilians. More than 800 people have reportedly been arrested. Iran's government has acknowledged a lower death toll of 117. The protests began on December 28 after a sharp fall in Iran's currency and quickly spread nationwide. Authorities responded with a violent crackdown and widespread internet shutdowns, making independent verification difficult. The unrest comes amid rising regional tensions. The United States has deployed the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier and supporting warships to the Middle East, increasing its ability to respond militarily if required. Iranian-backed militias have warned they could act if Iran is attacked. Iran has cautioned that any conflict could spread across the region, though its allied forces appear weakened following recent confrontations, including Israel's military operations against Iran-backed groups. US President Donald Trump has rallied supporters in Iowa as he seeks to shore up backing in a key Midwestern battleground, amid growing economic concerns and escalating tensions over immigration enforcement in neighboring Minnesota. Speaking in the largely rural state, Trump focused on the economy and the importance of winning November's midterm elections. Iowa, a major producer of corn, hogs, and ethanol, is central to Republican electoral strategy and hosts several closely watched congressional races. Voters across the country remain worried about high consumer prices. In the Farm Belt, farmers and renewable fuel producers are under added pressure from weak crop prices, rising costs for fertilizer and equipment, and uncertainty over trade with China. Analysts say these challenges risk eroding Trump's support among rural voters. The rally came as Trump's administration faces criticism over immigration enforcement in Minnesota. On Saturday, federal immigration agents shot and killed 37-year-old U.S. citizen Alex Pretty during a protest in Minneapolis. It was the second fatal shooting involving immigration agents in the city this month, sparking widespread protests and calls for independent investigations. Despite his message that costs are coming down, economic signals have been mixed. The US dollar fell to a near four-year low this week, with traders citing concerns over possible government shutdowns, tariff threats, and political pressure on the Federal Reserve. A Minnesota federal judge has sharply criticized the acting head of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, over the agency's repeated failure to comply with court orders, a dispute tied to the Trump administration's aggressive immigration enforcement operations in the state. Chief Judge Patrick Schiltz had ordered acting ICE Director Todd Lyons to appear in federal court on Friday to explain why he should not be held in contempt for ignoring dozens of judicial directives, including a missed deadline to provide a bond hearing for a detainee. The judge said that ICE's decision to send thousands of agents to Minnesota without adequate legal processes had strained the court's patience. However, the planned contempt hearing was cancelled after ICE released an Ecuadorian man from custody in compliance with a court order, averting a rare personal court appearance by Lyons. Schiltz, while withdrawing the hearing, still sharply criticized the agency's record of violating judicial orders and warned that legal concerns remain unresolved. Fact-checkers have confirmed that a widely shared image showing police officers appearing to cry beside Jul Hassan Saddam, a local leader of the banned student organization Chatra League, was generated using artificial intelligence. The image circulated on social media following the deaths of Saddam's wife, Khanis Subhana Swanali, 22, and their 9-month-old child in a village in Baghahat while he was being held in Jeshore jail. Authorities reportedly allowed Saddam to see the bodies at the jail gate, an incident that sparked widespread public discussion and criticism online. Several social media posts claimed the photo, showing emotional police officers standing beside Saddam, was genuine. However, fact-checking organization Rumor Scanner found the image to be fake. According to its investigation, the photo was created using AI by altering an existing image of Saddam. The team said no credible video footage or photographs supported the claims shown in the image. Multiple detection tools, including Hive Detect and Deepfake Ometer, indicated a high likelihood that the image was AI-generated. Rumor Scanner urged the public to verify sensitive content before sharing, warning that manipulated images can spread misinformation and inflame emotions during tragic events. Dubbed the mother of all trade deals, the EU-India Free Trade Agreement, concluded after more than 2 decades of negotiation, appears to be the most consequential for Bangladesh among recent trade deals involving other countries. The agreement delivers market access gains for India in those sectors that have long underpinned Bangladesh's export success in Europe, notably textiles, apparel, leather and footwear. With Bangladesh set to graduate from LDC status in November 2026, and its preferential access to the EU market expected to erode after a 3-year transition period, the timing of this deal could not be more unsettling. While trade agreements of other countries lie beyond Bangladesh's control, this one demands utmost seriousness in assessing how competitive conditions would reshape in its most important export destination, and what that implies for preparedness, policy priorities, and the sustainability of an export model built largely on preferential margins rather than enduring competitiveness.